So I want to continue this from where we stopped in our last class. So in our last class, we were able to set questions, right? We set maybe, what is my name? Then A, Taye, B, Kenny, C, Ido, D, Alapadan. We said A is the correct answer, so we add a question. So when we click on add new question, it should tell us question added successfully. Then also it ought to clear these inputs. That will make it better. We should know that the question has been added, and at the same time the input should be cleared. Let's quickly fix that part. Set questions. Let's go to their components. Components, set questions. We can minimize this, can hold this. Okay. So after setting a new question, we want to clear the inputs. Then let's say you can say set new question. Set it to an empty string. Okay, oh, we are only consoling it. Now instead of consoling it, we can create an array, then we push the questions in the array. Do you understand? Hello? Please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, thank you. Question with answer. Set. So we can push this into this array. So we can say let my new question, we can even push it directly, set question with answer. So you want to create an object and push the object into it, right? Hope you understand. Let's create an object and push whatever might be there initially, which is a question with answer. Then you want to add a new one, which is new question. Then option A, option B. Let's break it to the next line so that it becomes readable. Option C, option D, then answer. Any question before we proceed? If you get what we have here, can you signify? If you have any question, can you signify?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Okay. We've been using this approach. Let's split it. Let's split the steps. We can create a variable, right? This variable can be an object. So we can say new question is equals to, we want it to have a property called new question, and let the value be this state, new question. Then create a property in it called option A, and let the value be this option A. Then create another one, option B, let the value be option B. Then create another one, option C. Let's break it to the next line. Option C, and let the value be option C. Then lastly, okay, no, not lastly, option D, let the value be option D. Then, oops, sorry, It should be colon. Then answer, let the value be answer. Do you understand this? This is an object, right? Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we can now push A into this array. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay.
So now, what we have in the question with answer is array. So, like, is it because we don't have anything in the question with answer? That's why we spread it like that, and it's not of the format of the objects.
No, what the reason we spread it is this. Now, if we don't spread it, let's assume we have it like this. We are pushing this object now into this array, right? Happy now?
Yes.
Whatever you put inside this place.
Yeah.
If I just put A, you might be asking that, why not just put A like this? I think if you put A like this, the new value of, whatever you put inside this place becomes the new value of this question with answer. Are you following me?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
let's say you pushed let's say you created an object, I entered my value here, I did everything, and I click on this button. Immediately I do that, it will run this code, it creates an object. Then set question with answer, I put A here. That means the new value of question with answer becomes an object. It's not going to be an array again. Are you following me?
Okay.
If I put hello here, once I click on this button, the new value of question with answer becomes hello. It's not going to be an array again. And I don't want that to happen, right? Instead, we can say create an array, then put the A there. Any questions so far?
Okay.
So we can say
okay, this one now.
All the values be inside an array like that.
So I think two persons are asking questions at a time. Sharifat.
Can I go now?
Can I talk?
Okay, yeah, Sharifat, you can talk. Sorry.
Okay, I said so. All the once we input like new question, now it will be in form of an array. Inside A will be in form of an array like that.
A will be actually okay. A will be
like
an object.
A, you said A.
Okay.
It's inside the array. Instead of it to be object, it should be an array now.
Exactly. So this will be question with answer will now be an array that contains A. That A is an object now. So it's going to be an array that contains an object, which is the data structure we are trying to create. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so the next person ask your question. Let me see.
Okay.
Thank you.
My own question is how can you distinguish this putting A inside an array alone compared to spreading what we have in the question with answer before we now append this A to that array?
Okay. Now, this implementation will still cause a problem for us. And the problem is this. Let's assume we added the first question, right? That means, that question becomes A, right? A is a local variable to this add new question function, right? Are you with me?
Okay.
A is a local variable, is an object.
Yes.
So, an object will be created, that object will be pushed inside this place. So that means question with answer will be an array that contains one object. Do you get to that point?
Okay. I understand. I understand now.
So
now let's say as we have it this way now, have questions.
Exactly.
So by the time we are adding new questions, you override what is there before.
Exactly.
So in order not to override, you have to spread what is there before and add the new one.
Exactly. Good. You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. Now, so we can do it this way. Yeah, we can do this way. Alright. You know, in ES6, whenever your key and your values are the same, you know, you can just use one, right? No. In fact, let's just.
Yes.
Okay, let's even do it this way. I think instead of calling this, we can.
I do forget that.
Okay. Can say maybe here. This can be B. This can be maybe C. And this can be D. The answer can still remain answer. So since the key and the values are the same, we can write it this way. And I think this is now short enough to keep everything on the line. It's still too long. Okay, let's continue like this. So we have this. But then this is not a good practice, right? Whenever you are repeating, well, let's say whenever you want to get the previous value of a state, you can use the prev function. So let's do that together. Instead of doing it this way, let's use the prev function. So here, you put an arrow here. So you say previous. Oops. So this prev stands for the initial value of the state. So you can now say return like this. So we still get the same result. But it's good to use this. This is better. The React library handles this better. So this prev stands for whatever might be inside this, the initial value of this state. I mean the state that this function is handling, which is it's just the same as saying question with answer. So this is like saying question with answer. Spread whatever might be there, then add a. Then you know it's not good to just call this a. It's not a good naming practice. So you can say, what shall we call it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Aside that, this being the best practice, the previous one that we did, is there any implication to our code performance or optimization of the thing?
Yeah, sometimes when you when you use the first approach, right? Most times it will work fine, but there will be some other times whereby it's not going to give you expected results. Like there are very few instances that it's not going to work fine.
Okay.
Most times it works well, but few times it may not work. So, you know, if something has been working fine and suddenly you try to use the same thing and it's not working fine, then it's not going to be your first point of debugging. It's going to even occur to you that it's because of the.
Because the reason why I asked is that there was this guy at my workplace, so he writes React. So when I was doing an assignment, so I now did the assignment. I showed the guy was not like, what I use here is exactly this thing that you're talking about. Like, I used the previous one. So, like the previous approach. So the guy was not like, it's not the best practice, that you'll have used it this way and that. So that's why I'm asking you, although it did not tell me the details about reason why I should use it, except best practice as I told you. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
But I get it now.
Alright. So we have this. Next is I want to clear this times. So we can say set new question. We want to set it to an empty string. Then set option here. So you can see we're already combining everything we've learned so far. So I just want us to do a task that will that will combine things we've done. Set option C like this. Set option D like this. Then I think maybe question added successfully, but you can use an alert to do that. Alert question successfully. Okay, so let's add a new question. Oh, next is we need to set the value of this so that it can pick up the new value. What I'm saying is this: if we come here and say, and we click on this, let's just add some text here, and I click on this, you can see this is not clearing. It's not clearing. So we want to add this to be the value. So any questions so far?
No question from my end, bro.
Okay. So let's set this. Who is Nigeria VP? A. Shatima. B. D. Question added successfully. So good. Next is we should have a page. Maybe if you want to see all the questions you've added so far, maybe there should be like a page to display all these questions. That's the next thing we want to look at. That's the next thing. Okay. So there should be a route that you click on, then it navigates to it starts to that page and it displays the question. Okay. You come here. So we can say, just copy this. Display. So let's go to components. This called display question. To work. And let's go to the nav bar and undo that part too. Oops. Sorry. What's going on? copy. Okay. Okay. Copy. Paste. Display questions. So let's test it on the screen if everything is working fine now. Oh, this is the set questions. Now we can come here. Good. It's loading the component. So let's display our questions inside this component. Now, who can tell me the problem we have at the moment?
It would probably be that our question is not yet available on each component. That's what I think.
Exactly. That's the problem we are currently facing. Our question is only available inside the set questions component. This is it here. This question with answer, this variable. We need to find a way to bring it to this component so that we can display all the questions inside it. Right. So it's in this component. What we can do is, if we want it to get to this component, we can do something called state lifting. We lift it from this state to its parent state, or to a state that serves as parent to both the set questions and to these display questions. We can do that. And one way we can also use context instead of passing it as props. We can use context to manage it, and it will make it much better. Right. Considering that we may need it in another component again sometime later, so let's use context to the context API to manage these parts. So we come here, we create our context. Const question context. Create context. So now, after creating our context, we can now provide it. We come here, wrap it with wrap all of these things here. Okay, let's put it there. Provide what's the name of this variable? Question context. Oh, because we want to use it there, we can make this to be uppercase. We are providing everything in our component with it. Okay. So by providing it now, it means everything here can make use of the value in our context. Right. So next is we can take this out of this place. Then we bring it to the parent. Of course, our application will break. That's expected. That's expected. Application will break. Next is then you can say let the value be question context, a question with answer. Concrete, maybe questions. You can just call it questions, and let the value be question with answer. Next is this. I think When you click on this button, we now want to remember this function is no longer available in this component because we've taken the state away from this place, right? Hello?
Yes.
We've taken the state away from this place. So one thing we can do is this. We can come here and create another function to handle that part. We can say const add new add new question, or add my, I think we already have a function here where we can rename it and get in there. Add new question equals to this. You are going to pass an object there, question, and it will just do this for you. To say set question return cell previous return previous add question to it. Oops. So let's see what you are doing here. This function, whenever you call on it, you pass your question, the question you want to add, you pass it to it. When you call on it, it will help you to add a new question to this. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Let me look at people we have there. David, are you with us?
Yes, I'm
Okay. Sharifat, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Are you lost?
No, I'm getting it.
Okay.
I'm following you.
Okay. Now we have this. We can now pass it down. We can see we want to pass down this function so that we're able to make use of it inside this component. So we can call it add question. And the value is add new question. Right. So we are passing this down. We can go to any of our components now and make use of these two values. We can use these questions. We can make use of this add question, whichever one. It is not. These two values are now available in all our components. So in any component, we can call on this function add question. In any component, we can display all the questions now. So first is, let's go and undo this add question here. So like I said, this function is no longer available. All right. So what you're going to do is this. We say you bring in the add question. Const. You know, when you create a context, you want to make use of the context, right? We need to export this out. We created the context here. So when we export it, it means that we can go to other files and make use of that same context. Please, are you following? Who is not getting it?
Well, I'm following.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's come here now and say, since we've exported it, now it's possible for us to import it now. Okay, this should auto import it for us. We can say the structure, what did we call it here? I'm coming. What did we call this? Add question. Okay. The structure add question from use context. So we import use context. What's the name of our context? The name of our context is this here. Question context.
Okay.
Question context, like this. So we are destructuring the add context. So what you are technically, what you are doing is that we are removing, or we are extracting this function so that we can make use of it inside this component. So now we can remove this easily. We can now say our add question, which is this function that we just imported, call on it. You know, it's a parameterized function. It's expecting a question, which should be an object. that we push into this array now. So you can pass this A. Oh, I thought we renamed this A the other time from A. Let's call it a more suitable name, a better name. A new question. My question. So you can now pass my question here. So with this now, when you add a new question inside this component, immediately you add it. The new question will be passed to this place. Where is it? It will be passed to this place. Then it will be pushed into this question with answer array. Any questions so far?
No question.
Okay. So let's see how you can make use of this now. Let's go to this component, display question components. So we need these questions inside this component so that we can see all the questions there. Right. So const questions, we can structure this like this, because to use context. Then what's the name of the context here? Want to use question context. Oh, sorry, this should be an object. The reason this should be an object is because this here is an object. This is an object. Let me clear. You can say this is an object. So inside this object we have two keys. So for that reason, this should also be an object. So let's display the questions there. Questions dot, since we know it's an array now, so if someone wants to join the class, let me quickly add into this person. You're welcome to class. So questions map. Well, we can add an ID. Let's add a unique ID to each question at the point of adding the questions. I think that would be better. It make it nice and cool. When you are creating a new question, let's quickly add an ID. We can say add a property called ID. Let this be maths dot floor maths dot random. We are generating a random number. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're getting a random number between 1 to 1 million. Then you are flooring it, you are rounding it down. So this will generate an ID for us. To get what this is doing, let's run this in the console so that it becomes clearer. You can see this is the number. This, if you want it again, to generate another number for us. 436175. So the more you do it, is keep generating a random number for us. Any question on that? We just want each question to have a unique ID. And maybe because it's ID, let's start it with some letters. We can say QL, then so because it's maybe is it question QL is good, yeah. QL then followed by number, so it becomes something like QL 1 2 3 4 5 6, QL 7 8 5 2 something. Do we understand? If you are lost, please kindly let me know. If there's any part you don't know.
The QL, is it like question 1, question 2, question 3? I don't get.
Now ID in this case will just be a number, right? But I want some text to just be before the ID. This can be anything. I just want some text to be before the ID.
Okay, the QL can be anything, Abi.
It can be anything, yes.
Okay.
I just want some text to be before the ID. We can also leave it as just numbers, depending on what you want. But I just want something.
Please, the numbers. This one we generate it randomly. It will
Yes.
not follow serially, abi? Abi it
Yes.
will follow. I don't
So just generate any number for you.
any number. What if we want it to be serially? How are we going to do it?
If you want a serial number, you can do something like this. Let me set this second. So you can say, just get the length of the array. I think that should handle that part. My question dot length. So this generates a serial. Sorry. So this generates a serial number for you. My question dot length. So initially,
Oh,
the length will be 0, right? So when you try to create the first one, my question dot length will be 0. Then when you try to create the second one, since you already have the length now to be 1, so the second one, the length will be 1. Then when you try to do it again, the length will be 2. So this is going to generate a serial number for you. Hello?
hello. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So you can also use other approaches. Now this, I just want this each question to have a unique ID. Right.
Okay.
So let's even display the question in the console. I think I saw some errors the other time. So let's fix the errors before we move on. Use state is not defined app.js. Let's fix that part. Use state, okay. From React. Okay.
It's not suitable.
You didn't import it. Oh, I thought it we have to import it. It's not doing that. Let's do it manually. Import. Use state from React. Yeah. So I think we've handled that part. Next is app.js again. Oh, it's importing use state elsewhere again. Oh, sorry. Oh, so what happened the other time? Okay. So let's set questions. How many students do we have in class? Let me count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So let's say 7. Let's say 5. Let's say 4. Let's say 1. Then let's set our answer to C. Then we click on this. Now when we go to display questions, let's check our console now. Okay, good. This is it. How many questions? Okay, good. Let's now find a way to display the answers on the screen. No, the questions and the answers on the screen. No, sorry, we are not interested in displaying the answer. We should only display the question. We will see how to handle the answer part. So we can say questions dot map question return so display the question here. Key question dot ID. So if a value has an ID, it's better you use the ID as the key than using index. If it has an ID, please just make use of it. Then we want to display question dot what's the key name do we call it? Question. Okay, you come back here and say question dot question. So why is this saying an error? Questions dot map. Come on. Questions dot map. use an array. Let's start it again. Questions. That map. Expecting. Oh, okay. I think I've seen it. So we have this now. This is displaying all the questions for us. Next is, after displaying each question, we should display the options beneath it. So one way we can display the option is that we can say the options are key. Okay, let's look at it. A, B, C, D. So that A will be the first one, B will be the second one, C, then followed by the answer. Right. So one thing we can do is that instead of even using key here, we can use an array to handle the options. What I'm saying is this. Presently, if you want to undo this part, you may be forced to do something like this. A is questions key. Key A. You are picking the value, or question dot A, something like that. Then B is question dot B. C is question dot C. What I'm saying is this. Let me complete it. That you get. So let's press it a bit. A7. Let's put a little space there. Oh, sorry. Okay, so once we put some little space there, we can even break this to the next line. Maybe it's BL. So look at what I'm saying. A, B, C. Oh, let's break this also. Okay, A, B, C, and D, like this. A, B, C, and D. But then, instead of doing it like this, A, B, C, and D, maybe we can use an array here to handle the questions. As time goes on, we still see if while manipulating things, if we think that adjusting it to an array will make it easier to manipulate, we may need to make adjustments to our data structure. Okay. Next is you want to put a radio button. Now when you put a radio button, the user will be able to select the one he or she wants here. Right. So let's get a radio button. Input type, sorry. Input type radio. Input type radio. For radio buttons, if you want all of them to have, what I'm saying is this, I'll cut here, paste, So I want users to only be able to select one among these four, whether this, 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 this. I want users to just be able to select just one of the four. One thing I can do is that we can say name. We give them the same name. You know, when they have the same name like that, it means users can only select just one from them. Abina, from HTML knowledge. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good, thank you. So you can give them a name of question.id. So all of them now, we have the same name. Now we are repeating ourselves. We should not be typing this, so we still need to make adjustments to the data structure. Maybe we change it to an array, but for now, let's use this. Now, can you see this? I can only select just one among these four. I can select two at once. If I set another question, what is my name? Let's say Taye, Kenny, Peter, and Paul. Then I click on this. When I go to the question page now, display question page, I can only select just one out of these ones too. And whatever I select here does not affect these ones, because all of these four, they have the same name. All of these four also, they have the same name. And you know, the way it works is that once they have the same name, you can only select one from that set, right? Please, do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We have just 4 minutes left. Okay, maybe we stop here tonight. Then we make adjustment. Like this. In fact, there is a big need for us. We can't be typing things like this. We can't.
Mine is showing, yeah.
You said?
My own is showing 8 minutes here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time we started. Like the class should start by 9. Alright. Okay, let's quickly make a little adjustment before we go to this data structure. Maybe that's the last thing we look at tonight. So instead of adding it like this, it would be better if your questions or your options, if it was to be, let's say, a list like an array. So it will save us the steps of repeating ourselves. Yeah, close this. Yeah, we can close this. So it will save us the steps of repeating ourselves here. Let's do that together. So we can create a list called options. And inside that, we have option A, option B, option C, and option D, like this. So we can remove these. Okay. ID question. Okay, so we can remove this A, B, C, and D now. We can remove them. So all of them are now inside there. That means question.options now is an array, right? Please, are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, so that means it's now possible for us to do question dot options. Oh, why did I put this aside? It should be like this. Question dot options dot map. Since it's an array, option, which option now? Then we need the index with it. Return this. So we can say return. We can just return this now. Return this. Okay, good. The name will still be ID. Yeah. Then give it a key. The key can be high now. Oh, we still want to put the text also at the front with a little adjustments, please. Let's group them together. Maybe we have a div now for all the options. If we can do something like that, div. Okay, so inside this div now, we can now cut this, place it within this div, remove the key from this place, and put here. Like this, good. So we can remove all of this now. Then after this, we can display our option here. Display the.
You're not displaying.
I'm not.
I said we are not displaying the option yet, but you started doing it.
Okay, okay. Question that options. Huh? Oh, sorry. Sorry, we already have option. Option like this. So let's see what you are doing here. You know, option question dot options is now an array. So we are looping to the array. Then after looping to the array, display the option here stands for each item in options, right? A, B, C, D. Option stands for each item in options. Then it will put a radio button in front of that particular option. So let's run it on the browser and see how that looks like. Let's see. What should the question be? What is the time? Let's say 9 p.m. 10 p.m. 11 p.m. then 12 a.m. Our answer is let's say B. So now we can come here now and we have it, so you can select your answer, the one you want as your answer.
Wow.
Select that successfully now. Then what else can we do before we go? Okay, maybe you want, when the user selects this single input, it's working for all of them, right? It's working for all of them. You may want to store the value, whatever the user picks. You may want to store it there. So maybe, maybe in the next class we can continue from there. We undo that part, then we continue. We complete because we should be able to complete this application in the next class. So let's have a quick recap of everything we've done so far tonight. Note, can you see the way we had to change the data structure so that to make the codes easy, to make it easy for us to manipulate our codes? We sometimes, when you are building applications, you may have defined the data structure, then you need to make some little adjustment to your data structure so that it becomes easy, because your data structure determines how easy it will be for you to manipulate your codes. If you don't define it well, you may have to write more codes, or you may have some problem manipulating. Since if you are still building, we may still have to adjust our data structure a bit also in order to accommodate with what you're about to do or whatever we want to do. We are just trying to adjust our data structure so that it will be easy for us to write the codes. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Alright, okay. So let's have a quick recap of everything we've done so far. App.js. The set questions. Here we set our questions. We give each question an ID, options, then the question itself, then the answer. Let's break it to the next line.
The call is about doing.
Okay. Okay, we continue in our next class. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.